Shouldn't have to talk about this, but we'll make a video about this. So I'm reading something here. Generation Kill or one of these war documentaries. I don't watch them. I don't watch a lot of American media. Evidently, it's a show about the actual lead up to the invasion of Iraq in 2003. It's not a big Full Metal Jacket type picture. It's not a big, World War picture. It's the lead up to it. It's the human dynamics that go, that operate behind the lines. I guess that homosocial, machoistic, masochist dynamics. I read Jarhead. Hold on. I read Jarhead back when I was a kid, before it ever came out on the movie. I seen the movie with Jamie Foxx and the other guy. I forgot his name. I think the Jarhead, the movie, didn't quite do it justice, because he talked about Swafford, that's the guy. He talked about deploying to South what's called a South Pac or whatever you call it. They go over the Southern Pacific and going on Liberty and all that kind of crazy shit he talked about. That was my first really experience to what Marines do. The whoring around, the alcoholism. I'm not talking people who necessarily deploy, but just that. And I think that comes from the dehumanization. I think they tried to glorify that they're dehumanizing people to make them better men. I don't think so. I think they're dehumanizing them, and then they have all that rage inside them, so now they want to take it out on somebody. The idea is take it out on the enemy, but sometimes it's how they take it out on their wives and things like that. I don't think it's just war makes them go crazy. I think that they've been dehumanized. It's like the military. They've been dehumanized. And so when they go out here and they rape and they kill somebody, a prisoner I'm talking about, it's like my friend Denzel, he worked in the jail. He worked in the prison. It's the same thing. They don't care. They don't care whatsoever. Anyway, this guy was on there talking about how it's common. We need that for young men to prove themselves. And I was gonna say, I had to comment. And I said, this is propaganda bullshit for the empire. This is propaganda bullshit for the American empire. So I said, take your apologies bullshit somewhere else. That's all it is. Another guy was like, it doesn't matter. No. For white men, I guess that works, because there's like this implied. I realize there's like an implied racism with some of these guys, that we're superior to Arabs and all that. So us killing them, us burning them alive in their beds, us dropping bombs in the wrong houses doesn't really matter. I spoke on this before, that the killing of Soleimani and the lies told and how they changed it up. First, they say they get ready to do an attack imminently, and then what's the guy named Esper says no proof. The British, they've said multiple times. Generals have said we don't see any proof that Iran's doing anything wrong at this point that warrants attack. The British said that in a press conference, and Pompeo was like, "Oh, you check again." Nah. And you're just so bloodthirsty, you don't care who you hurt. That's all it is. You are so goddamn bloodthirsty, you don't even care. And now they've changed it to something else. It's like they did with Iraq. First, weapons of mass destruction, and now they tell everybody it was to go after Al-Qaeda. Wait a minute. You attack somebody preeminently. They didn't attack you. They didn't threaten you. You invaded their country and occupied it for over 10 years to go after Al-Qaeda. Then that's a crime. That's a war crime. that, you know what I mean? Like, the deeper you go into the explanations, if these guys are on trial for murder and crimes, they'd already be convicted. Police like, did you kill him? No, I didn't kill him. Well, I killed him, but it was self-defense. Well, I killed him because he's planning on coming to kill me. Well, you know what I mean? The story keeps changing and it keeps getting worse, and because they can't lie. We know it was, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess that for those guys, it goes back to something I've read many, many times before, is a lot of folks in the military don't kill what they hurt. They don't. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they kill a kid or something, but they really don't sit back and really think about what they've done to a whole region. What, you know, the harassment and stuff that I've heard about, what it does to a whole region. And I've talked about it before, how I think that when you do that and you're invading people who have never invaded America, people who don't even really care about America in that way, I think that when, you know, in every war they come up with like gook, zipper here, slope, sand nigger, haji, something they called up people over in Grenada, I can't remember it. I think they have to do that because they have to create a hate. Like, everything the U.S. military does when in war is almost like it's a little bit of racism in all of it. And they talk about how they're not letting the military do whatever. You know, they're fighting a war with feelings. But that's not really it, is it? It's you guys have to use racism because you're fighting people who have never attacked America. The average person can't just go and kill people who are not attacking him. That's like, to me, that's not normal. There's people that are re-enlisting. There's something there. There's something malignant there. Because you're fighting and killing people who are not at war with America. Nobody in Iraq was at war with America. Period. I don't care what they tell you. We can talk about the oil, you know, that stuff later, but so because they're fighting people who are really defending, I look at Iraq and all that, they were defending themselves. You invaded a country on a lie and they defended themselves. And so because they are killing your friends and you're doing stuff that doesn't make sense, a lot of these guys talk about dumb orders from their commanding officers and stuff, you have to create a racist element to make yourself feel superior. Because at any moment, your friends could die, and die fighting a war you don't really understand, fighting people that never threatened you or your family, but yet you're going in after them day to night. You're going in after them. You're being mortared. You're being, you know, attacked, and stuff like that. I just that to me is why every military, you know, intervention I've looked at, there's always a racist element. Like I said, sand nigger, haji, gook, slope. This is what they do because they have to create some hate for them. And that's how white supremacy operates. I'm superior. I'm better than you. And trying to justify what I do to you. Because I'm superior to you and you resist me, now I can go in and rape and kill all your people. That is the psychology of the white supremacists. And that's why with that comment, when he talks about we need war for young men to prove themselves, no, we don't. And it really shows you how conservatives think. That comment, it does. Because they're saying that they see the world as their playground. They do. And that, you know, like they say, what stays in Vegas, happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. It's almost like that. Like, whatever happens there doesn't matter. I'm not going to bring it home with me. If I go out and I rape somebody or, you know, shoot up a car full of kids, like, what's the big deal? That's why I remember hearing when they first invaded, like, they were commanding officers, they were talking about Arabs don't look at death the same, that they don't grieve. They're like, what the fuck? Yeah, I remember hearing stuff like that. They don't grieve for their kids the same and all this racist shit. Like, are you fucking stupid? And you have Muslims and stuff that join the military. I don't get it. I guess, you know, I'm beyond the point of trying to fit in with those people. You know, I'm beyond that. I am way beyond that, trying to, be comfortable by those people and all that stuff, because they're not comfortable with you. Not at all. Not at all, man. I think the U.S. military is a tool of oppression, global oppression. I think the U.S. military serves as a tool to protect the multinational corporations and American interests, specifically, the fossil fuel industries. I don't think the U.S. military has anything to do with me or my family or my friends or any of that shit. If anything, I remember reading in billboards I was on the road talking about U.S. military, global force for good. One thing I find very interesting now is I don't see a lot of billboards where they talk about, like the military's like fighting for America as much as like they've changed the whole dynamic of it. I seen a billboard, I think when I was out there yesterday. I was up in West Virginia. I was talking about the Air Force, your adventure or some shit like that. And the Army, it's the Army strong and all this kind of stuff. It's all this. The military is a challenge, and it's not about that nationalism. I find it very interesting. I've said it before that I don't think the U.S. military is meeting their goals. What they'll do is this. They'll lower the goal. Or, like I've told you before in previous videos about how Trump has allowed a lot of people who are mentally ill, who are suicidal. Yeah, we got a lot of waivers for suicidal people. We've got a lot more people who have there's people in the military who had not been allowed in the military 20 years ago. That's how they meet their goals. When they tell you they met their goal this year, remember that. It's not that they're getting these great, capable people. They've got a lot of lowlifes in the service. They got a lot of people out there who are crazed. That's real talk. I think the U.S. government has taken a path of destruction. And they've doubled down on it. U.S. foreign policy has doubled down on destruction. I can't understand anybody joining the service. I can't. Not at all. I can't understand it. Because this man is operating off of really chaos at this point. So, like I said, I read those comments. I inside myself, like my brain did a somersault. Like, wow. And it's interesting to see how Caucasians think. It is. It's interesting, like how they think about the rest of the world, and that the rest of the world just serves as like testing for them. And the Caucasian thinks that warfare. See, that's how I thought. Going to war and going and holding mighty sway upon the shore, foreign shore, and all this that makes you a man. Somehow that makes you a man, not your intellect, not your loving kindness, not your peace, not your charity, not your joy, your inner joy, not your my love for people around me and how I appreciate them and how I let them know, that appreciate you. You matter, man. Not none of that stuff. War and going off and killing some guy that probably is a goat herder somewhere and he's a terrorist and all this shit. And, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. I just know the U.S. military is nowhere near a global force for good. They're a global empire. They serve to protect the rich. They serve to protect the multinational corporations. Peace.